you, Ms. Moderator. I'm speaking on behalf of the Asia-Pacific Regional CSO Engagement Mechanism to present our perspectives and recommendations. The past 2.5 years of the pandemic have further exposed the various systemic challenges to achieving the 2030 agenda. Data shows that we are not on track in achieving any of the goals, and worse, some have regressed. In the Asia and the Pacific region, at least the latest UNESCO progress report states that the SDGs, given the current pace and commitments of governments, will not be achieved until 2065. Let me say that again, 2065. In this regard, we would like to reiterate our call to shift the discussion at the HLPF to unpack and address the systemic barriers in achieving the goals, which mostly lies in our patriarchal and unjust global economic governance. With many countries in the global south facing challenges because of the debt crisis, inflations, and collapsing economies, this has become more relevant than ever. We also acknowledge the importance of the VNR process in holding governments accountable, but this process should go beyond the capitals and national borders. States also need to report on the extraterritorial obligations to advance human rights globally. Civil society and people's organizations demand actions that will allow the people to build back fairer, justly, differently, and sustainably, specifically to systematically strengthen regional follow-up mechanisms through allocations of spaces at HLPF as well as financial resources, strengthen mechanisms for inclusive public participation in the planning, monitoring, and implementation of the 2030 Agenda through localization and inclusive approaches, especially by providing democratic and safe space for marginalized communities. We would also like to reiterate that civil society and citizen-led data collection needs to be seen as an effective way to enhance transparency and accountability. Lastly, the people of the Asia-Pacific propose development justice as an alternative to ensure a holistic COVID-19 recovery centering on human rights and well-being with an intersectional focus on redress of systemic issues guided by international solidarity, multilateralism, and democratic values based on equity and justice to leave no one behind. Thank you for this opportunity.